When an owner of commercial real estate wants to sell a property, typically they will engage what we refer to as an investment sales broker. These are commercial real estate brokers that have nothing to do whatsoever with the residential business. And typically they don't get involved in leasing office space or appraisals. Occasionally they may do an appraisal, but they're not really appraisers. They are specialists in selling office buildings or shopping centers or the like. Now there are investment sales brokers within each niche. So there are investment sales brokers that specialize in shopping malls, and there are investment sales brokers that specialize in office buildings. So in our industry, you would hire somebody that's got years of experience, particularly if it's a large building that you're marketing. You would want somebody that's got 10 years experience minimum marketing high-rise buildings. In our case, we're specialists in high-rise office buildings. And those would be a very small population of players within each city. So here in Tampa, there's probably only about a half a dozen folks that really qualify for that position. And within those six, there's really 3 or 4 that have 80 to 90% of the business. So step one is you would interview and hire one of these firms, typically led by an individual. Not that the firm is led by an individual, but the brokerage company. Let's say you were to hire Cushman & Wakefield in Tampa. They would assign, and here in Tampa, a guy named Mike Davis, who is a well-known specialist in investment sales. And you would then retain Mike to put together what we refer to as an offering memorandum. Before you even did that, let me back up a step. You would agree on a fee structure. So typically on an office building today, an investment sale broker on a significant building, let's say of value of 30, 40, 50 million or higher, they would earn something on the order of magnitude of 70 basis points times the sales price. So a $100 million deal would command a $700,000 commission. It's an engagement where that investment sales broker for a period of time is exclusively engaged. So if you sell the property, no matter who you sell it to, even if you sell it to one of your buddies in the golf club, you have to pay them the commission during the pendency of that investment sale contract, that brokerage agreement. Occasionally an owner will say, hey, you know, I have a very close relationship with, you know, Larry Feldman, and Larry's been talking to me about buying it. If Larry buys it, you get a half a commission. Or if Larry buys it, you get no commission. Putting exclusions in there are fraught with peril because you can disincent the broker if he's looking over his shoulder thinking you might sell to a friend or get, you know, where he may wind up with a half a commission. It sort of provides a disincentive right from the beginning. So once you sort out those terms, you sign up brokerage commission agreement. The very first process that the broker wants to do is gather a vast amount of information so that that broker can put together a formal offering memorandum. Now, in a large office building, those offering memorandums can be as long as 100 pages. Historically, they were done in hard copy, and they were sent out in hard copy. Today, they're electronic. And that is sent out only after a prospective buyer will sign a confidentiality agreement, because these offering memorandums, so when you send out these memorandums to individual prospective investors, before you do that, you must get a confidentiality agreement, because they contain a lot of confidential information. So for example, they'll have every single lease expiration, what the tenant is paying. They may tell you problem situations. Let's say they're being sued by somebody, things that might be found out during the process of due diligence are sometimes disclosed to get them out of the way. But more often than not, the offering memorandum is probably too rosy a picture. It's up to you as the buyer to find the things that are not being disclosed. And most buyers of, let's say, a large office building are institutional buyers, so they're not little old ladies. And there's an expectation that you as the buyer will find the things that you need to find during your due diligence period.